Hi everyone, welcome to the toilet show.
It's the shit show.
Colin's called the shit show, of course.
I do.
Welcome to the shit show.
This is where we keep our toilet. For those that haven't ridiculed our design choices yet, yes, it is next to our stove. It is not mounted down. The toilet's never just rolled and fallen over while we've been driving some 8,000 plus miles on the road now.
Wow, look at all that dirt.
So this is it. This is where the toilet sits.
Yep.
We haven't cut down our little fan tube, so it's still super duper long, and it sits here in the corner. And then there is the 12 volt plug for the fan. Those are the only two things that keep it connected, and now we can lift and bring the toilet out. It's pretty heavy when it's at full capacity. We use peat moss as our composting material. You can use coconut husk, you can use
other things,
sawdust probably, and other wood type dirt materials. I don't know. On the side of the toilet, you have your little, what do you call those? Latches. They tighten in and out, so you want to make sure that they're really tight to really seal in that poop smell.
Yeah, you want to seal off the outside air.
You first take your urine container out, then you throw out your urine. So for the last month, we've been using our Nature's Head like exclusively. During the first 8 months, we were full-time traveling, and so you'd run into a toilet here and there just being out on the road and traveling, so you wouldn't have to use it as heavily. So we've really gotten to experiment with how long you can really go pooping in the toilet before changing it, and it hasn't been as long as what it's really been advertised up front.
One of the things that we were just talking about with Disco Moose is the difference between putting toilet paper in your solid compartment and not. And theirs lasts about a month, and at this point I think our solid compartment is probably lasting like 2 weeks, a week and a half.
But
because we're putting toilet paper in it.
I also don't live with them.
Yeah, I was like, maybe Cole just goes to the bathroom a lot. I don't know, but something to think about.
So the thing about a composting toilet is it's so you can use that material to grow stuff after it's actually composted. For us, we're just disposing it in, the proper trash receptacle when we end up running into it, which is 100% legal, if you're wondering. You can throw away poop. By federal standards, it's 100% legal to do that.
Just like you throw away a diaper.
We use septic tank safe toilet paper, the really crappy toilet paper that you're disappointed by when people actually have it in their home. That's what we use because it's easier to, and less thick than Charmin. You're welcome, Charmin. So when we are traveling, we usually can go about 3 weeks before actually changing out the solid compartment in the back. Did I say salad? Because everyone completely makes fun of me for how I say salad instead of salad. Salads. Your lid slides off. I want to be 100% upfront with everyone. I'm not into poop things. I don't like poop. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to handle poop. It's not bad. It just smells earthy. It doesn't smell like you have 2 weeks of poop in front of you.
And
right
it
now.
shouldn't smell like that. So you're doing something wrong if it does.
Usually if it's smelling, it means it's too wet. You just want to cup the front edge and then wrap in front of the back metal piece.
Yep.
So the metal piece is going to stick out.
Just so the bag doesn't tear.
And then you're going to do yourself a little flippy poo. Usually this is when Monica helps me beat it. It can get a little airtight as well, so it's good to kind of try to let some of the air release out of the bag, which I'm not doing very successfully. So gently take off the trash bag because you just don't want anything going wrong here. There's usually a little dirt left, So this is what I would say a healthy inside of a Nature's Head toilet looks like. It's not like there's not a whole bunch of remnants of dirt in there after you've knocked it out. So you know you had a good combination of wet to solid material going on in here. The shitter's full. Just changing out.
It's coming on over. Hey, I get it. Our shooter was full today too. So.
Yeah, you guys just changed your toilet.
It's like we're on the same cycle, you know. When bus lifers live together, the same cycle happens where, you know, you have to change out your toilet at the same time.
Yeah, like our poop starts smelling the same.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's
neighbor.
up? Hey, neighbor. We're just doing poop things.
I know, I was watching. Poop mouth.
You're watching?
It looked really crappy.
Now that I got a live studio audience here. So this is your bag of poop. And you'll just keep this with you until you're able to dispose of it properly at some point in the future. Maybe like a Walmart trash can or something.
Sit. Hey, on TV, sit.
Now for the filling up of the toilet, you do need a pug in order to be able to properly fill up the toilet. So without the pug, it's not going to work. We use 2.5 gallon plastic bags because, you know, that's not a waste of resources on this earth. You're going to get dirt in your eyes when you do this when it's windy.
Norm's got a boner as usual, so
Yeah,
everyone
we'll drop
just
Ignore
that.
If this video couldn't get any weirder, we've added a pug boner to it. So.
No, don't talk about it anymore. He's leaving.
I have noticed that peat moss is different no matter like where you're at in the country. So like some of it will have like wood material in it. Other will be like more mossy and fine like this stuff is. You know, it all works the same. It's just dirt. You're pooping in it. That's about it. With the, what do you call this? The spinner thing. What do you call it?
Spindle. Spinner thing.
With the spinner thing.
The
Poop spindle.
The poop spindle. So the poop spindle, when it's flat, you want your dirt level to be that high. So that is proper levels, really, of where you want your dirt to be. I didn't think all of our friends were going to be here for when we changed out our toilet.
We're not here.
Just kidding.
This is BTS.
This was a little trick I saw on a YouTube video that I watched once upon a time before bus life, and the gentleman, don't know who he was, used distilled water, and it's just a little splash in there to kind of activate the dirt and material that you're putting in there. You don't want to get it super moist. You just want it, you know, kind of primed and wet. I don't have a specific. Hey Norm. I don't have a specific measurement of distilled water. We've had this for a long time.
But it's like almost a quart.
Yeah, studio audience is checking in.
You just want it so the dirt's not like kicking up in your face anymore when you're spinning it. It also really helps to find yourself a good poop stick at the beginning of this process.
I'll get you one.
Sometimes when you change out your materials, they were a little wetter than what they should be. So you got to dig out the corners to kind of be able to get them loosened up so you can get the materials fully out. It also helps if you can mix out those corners. So if you put your little spindle vertically, then you can dig out those corners and get all the distilled water material kind of like mixed up in it, so it's a happy, you know, happy medium to start with. And then you can kind of shake out your lid a little bit because usually there's some dirt and shit on it. But yeah, so let's
Put her back together?
yeah. Thanks for joining for this portion of the video.
Yes, I know that you definitely wanted us here.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm very happy. This is what neighbors do, you know? We just pop up and see what other people are going on, you know?
Yeah.
Just got to know what's happening in the neighborhood. Neighborhood watch.
We gonna play FIFA?
Yep, it's set up.
All
Just
right.
got to plug the PS4 in.
Wow, living the dream. Number one bus pulled in and they use coconut core, so I thought it would be good to get their take since Monica and I have only used peat moss with our Nature's Head. Wow.
Some cocoa core.
I've actually never seen it. This is fresh stuff, or is this covered in poop?
It might be a little bit of poop.
Little poopy. So what do you have to say about your pooper?
Well, I love it.
Yeah, so this is cocoa core. We used peat moss before. We didn't like the way that it clumped up in there, and it just wasn't nasty. It wasn't easy to clean out.
Plus, the bag was like massive.
Oh yeah.
The bags
So
are huge. Honestly.
that's kind of hard to store. The coconut core comes like yay big.
It's in like a 1 foot by 1 foot like square piece, and the hard part about the Coco Core is breaking it up.
So you had to break up the whole thing?
So you have to sit there and pretty much break it up and crumble it piece by piece, you know.
And
so
then,
this is the more of the crumbled stuff obviously now.
do you add like water then to it or anything, or you just
No.
put
Just
that?
poop.
No.
You just add poop?
Yeah, so we
Wow.
just add this in there. We add it to about like an inch below where the churning part is.
Awesome. Thanks for your poop thoughts. Well, I am editing down this video right now, and Monica and I are realizing there is a topic we didn't talk about, so we're going to do that now.
Using the Nature's Head toilet as a woman, which is not something I think I've ever heard anyone talk about. I think the Soul Bus just did a video, like kind of similar. A lot of people voice concern about like aiming and like how to do things in the right compartments.
Sure, I feel like men
So
want to know that too.
well, yeah, which I can only assume is easier as a man. But with this toilet, it's a little bit tricky and hilarious. One thing that we did that you'll notice right off the bat is that we cut this hole bigger. It was just these 2 holes, and we cut it so that it would flow quicker, which definitely really helps with the diversion of the urine.
It's also before we knew how the diversion worked.
Yeah, so this flap is, you open that to go to the bathroom to do number 2. But when it's closed, the urine, if it gets in the back, will divert down
To your
into
front
the
container.
The one thing that you have to be careful of is not to pee in the solids compartment. So learning how to go to the bathroom in this thing is a little bit of an adjustment. I think I mentioned that, but I wasn't like specific on why. But you know, after you get used to it, it's like not even a thing. That's it. That's all I really have to tell you about that topic, without being too specific, I guess.
Which I think we were pretty specific.
I think we're specific enough.
Back to the video. I see you got a urine container.
Yeah, the pee container gets really gross. It actually smells worse than the poop container, like virtually at all times. So I think I'm gonna fill it with water and vinegar and let it sit for like a couple hours, probably.
We don't have any great tips or tricks on having a non-smelling urine container. A few people have mentioned previously to add a little vinegar to it while you're using it, but that definitely doesn't help. I don't advise that. We only use vinegar in the container when we're cleaning it, and then we dump it and we start fresh. I did once have someone say that they put a couple drops of dish soap in their urine container, but like, I don't want like soapy urine to deal with. I feel like that's weird. Monica's just given the urine compartment a little wash down.
Get some pee in here sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually know how it happens. But
I think it's from when we empty the urine container and bring it back in.
Yeah, and it's like
And
on
if
the
we,
bottom.
yeah, we don't wipe off the bottom or something.
Yeah.
Watch your hair. Jeez, lady.
It's everywhere, right?
Whoa. There's a few things that I could nitpick, like this is starting to come unstuck, the gasket material for the fan, the gasket material for the actual back compartment, that's like depressed pretty hard over the first 10 months too. So let's face it, $1,000 for a toilet is pretty expensive. I think we paid like $960 through Amazon, and we'll have that linked below if you guys are interested in the Nature's Head, and it helps support our channel too. So many bus lifers, so many van lifers, people who have been out on the road, lived it, have recommended the Nature's Head that we just had to go ahead and get it. And you know, I can definitely say it's performed above my expectations of what I thought my life was gonna be like dealing with emptying my own poop from time to time on the road.
So I just filled it like a third of the way and used like a quarter of a cup of vinegar. It doesn't really take that much vinegar. I probably overkilled the vinegar, to be honest with you, but yeah, just gonna let it sit on its sides and like try to get some of the stuff off the inside.
You got a what?
A shoe.
Cool.
I don't know how to clean it. It's clay. I've only worn them like a couple of times.
Oh, that sucks.
Leave it in the
Did you
comments. How do
Google
you
it?
clean Birkenstocks?
Yeah, Google it.
Side note, realizing I didn't talk about when you know your toilet is full, and it's really when you can't turn over your toilet anymore. You're supposed to turn it like 3 times after each usage, and eventually it gets harder and harder to turn it over. If you're trying to extend it before you need to change it again, like you need to go again, grab a poop stick, dig out the corners of that back compartment, maybe throw in a little dry material on top of that, spin it once or twice, get it going again, and that's usually good for maybe like 1 or 2 more usages before you have to, change everything anyways.
I did overflow the pee for the first time recently, and I got very lucky that it wasn't worse than what it was.
Yeah, you can see your urine level. So if you're actually looking at it, like you shine your phone light or something on it at night, you shouldn't ever overflow your urine container.
Right, but if it's dark and you think someone would have warned you or taken the pee out before you, then you might just pee into it anyways.
I warned you like mid-pee.
Yeah, it was too late.
If you're using the Nature's Head all the time, expect to change it out frequently. There's been a couple times where we've had to change it out like in 11 days. And we're just like, there's no way we could be changing it out now. But we do put the toilet paper material in there since we're not actually composting the material to use for other gardening reasons. But if it's your main toilet, you're going to change it out more often. So how's it been pooping in a bus right here?
It's actually been fine. Yeah, it really bothers me when people tell us that it's disgusting that we're pooping next to our toilet, or pooping next to our toilet.
Pooping next to our kitchen.
Regular toilets are what make toilets unsanitary, because it's like you're flushing and it's going everywhere. This is very contained and straight to the point and cleaned every day virtually. So that's what I have to say. I don't really remember what you asked me. I just felt like going off on that tangent. So
Cool.
but pooping in the bus, yeah, totally fine, easy. It took a little bit of adjusting, but honestly after a couple weeks I was just like, okay, this is what we do. Well, that was that.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
was-
So if you have questions about your pooper, just leave them in the comments. If you're interested in the Nature's Head, go check it out in the description. We'll have it linked with our Amazon affiliate link.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Let's go check in with friends. Oh, hey. Hi.
How you doing?
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for coming over to the shit show earlier.
Anytime.
Literal shit show.
It was phenomenal.
We're going to play FIFA.
Thanks for letting us be part of your shit show.
Hey, thanks for...
Even though I know it wasn't part of the plan.
All right, well...
It was a shitty plan because it didn't include us.
It was very informative, though. I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I learned you gotta put dirt in the Nature's Head.
Oh, you don't just poop in that bottle?
Oh, you,
If you lift the
It
front
flips.
lid,
Lift the front, yeah.
and it it goes.
Okay.
Whoa.